Welcome everyone. We are in week number 11 and today we have got some important slides which contain important topics such as user documentation and online help. These are also very important topics and must be paid attention here. Okay, please may I get your full attention here? Okay, can I start with the learning outcomes here? Important topics we are going to cover here are the how to shape the content of the documentation. That is also an important topic. How to access the documentation, how to read from display versus reading from paper. There's a big difference between them. Which one is better, which one is not. Online tutorials and animated documentations, online communities, and avenues for user support, the development process. So these are some of the important uh, topics for our today's class. Okay, first of all, we need to important, when it comes to learning about computer system, many people experience anxiety, frustration, and disappointment. Things may go wrong, and you as a designer, especially interface designer of that computer system, has a responsibility to make sure that the users who are using it, they are having a good experience. That's important, you know. So even though increasing attention is being paid to improving the interface design, complex system can still benefit context sensitive. That's why we need online help. So online help is one area where we can improve our users experience. We can reduce their disappointment and frustration. Yeah, I mean, this is the last thing you want to see. Maybe like kind of a user who is anxious, who is feeling anxiety. So you don't want that to happen. That is why it is important that we have animated demonstrations, we have manual tutorial guide, you know, and we might have animated documentation, animated demonstration. Manual help is one of the area which is also very important. And we can also have online community, set up. Those websites are also very important, such as like kind of a web portal and FAQs. As you know, all the importance of FAQs and how important role they play in reducing the user's frustration. So these are some of the important topics we are going to look at, guys. So please understand from that perspective where I'm coming from. I want to see that everybody understands here that what we are trying to do. And this is exactly what we are trying to do here, and users' frustration. We want users to have a good experience while they are using any system, any website. Okay, now if you look at here, it's just about Microsoft OneNote 2016. So Microsoft is one of the organizations which does heaps of things, and they pay a lot of attention to improving users' experience. So those who have used Microsoft 2016 OneNote, they will probably be aware of that, how step by step easy help is provided. Maybe for example, this particular start guide is from Microsoft OneNote 2016. It points out common actions for users. This is very important. Its goal is to minimize the learning curve for users upgrading from a previous version. That is also important. I mean, users don't want to use a new version which is drastically different or which is totally different. So they like few changes, few upgrades, but not like a wholesale changes. So the quick start guide is has 4 pages. This is the first page. Explanations are provided for the toolbar and the ribbon in addition to other commonly used features. So you can see that once you are, hovering your cursor or something, it will display something, so which will make it easier for those who want to get help and, something they're trying to access something specific on OneNote 2016. Okay, now organizations and writing styles are also important. The documentation content is organized as single source topics created during the authoring process with the intention of reuse. This is also important. You have to keep the language simple. Yeah, the various documentation and products compiled help website prints are mapped from the various combinations of this single source to pics. This is something important as well. Okay, now guys, we are living in a different age. Reading from paper versus displays. As you remember, probably 30 years ago, the paper used to be the source of information, but now a lot of people are not relying on paper. They are relying on their monitors, on their laptop screens, their computer screens, whatever, their mobile phone screens. iPad screen. So, and I mean, there's a heat map here, which is showing different eye tracking for, whatever red means is, you can see here, which indicates the area where the user looked most. Yellow indicates fewer views, and blue indicates the very few views. So something you can see here. Gray is used for areas that were not viewed at all. So this kind of information, which is not easy to be displayed or will be difficult to show on a piece of paper, can now easily be shown and displayed to people on their monitors, on their laptop screens, phone screens. That's what's happening. So guys, times are changing. We have to change with the time as well. Whatever worked 30 years ago, that was fine. We didn't mind that something working 30 years ago. People went for that, and it was what it was. But now, what it is, what it is. You just can't ask for the same thing, which, like the technology which was used by people 30 years ago. Yeah, you're not going to do that. So we need to adopt ourselves, embrace change, and move with the time. And the time, that means whatever the technology is available, use that technology, the available technology to uh, mm, to do whatever you are trying to do. So yeah, anyway, let's move on to some other things as well. Writing for the web requires special skills. So you have to break your text into short sections with clear headings. It's important. You have to have headings, subheadings. Otherwise, if you are trying to write long lengthy paragraphs, no one is going to read, no one is going to understand them. They will make things complicated. That's the last thing you want to see happening. What you want to see happening is things are simple. People, if not understanding something, can easily get the help, and that help has to be in clear language. The key message should be, I mean, just start with, and it should be like very short sentences, short paragraphs. It can't be like 10 lines explanation. Nobody wants to read 10 lines. They will get confused. If you want to do that, probably divide 10 lines into 4 bullet points. That will be better than 10 lines. Bullet points are always good. Use lists and tables. Tables play an important role. Sometimes tables are not easy to view on mobile phones, but they can be viewed on a large monitor. A 27-inch wide monitor can easily display that. And these days, those monitors are easily available everywhere. The cheaper, and yeah. Write meaningful links. Do not use click here. Click here doesn't make sense. If you want somebody to use something, then ask them, all right, this is what it is. Please use this. And click here to access XYZ, something like that. Just click here is a like a unclear message. This is not a good way of doing it. So there are a lot of things, guys. We are talking about that. So there are some videos. I will run these videos into your tutorial class. They are good ones. And we will see how they go. But anyway, okay, keep moving here. Okay, now advantages we are going to look at here of online documentation are physical advantages available whenever on web connected electronic devices, can't get lost or misplaced. Physical workspace not needed, can be updated rapidly. So there's a few things, guys. We're going to look at here. Navigation features. We're talking about interactive services. These are important things. So I mean, imagine about interactive services. We're talking about bookmarks. We're talking about annotation. We're talking about text. We're talking about graphics, sound, color, animation. So many things are around. People with disabilities can also be benefited. That's what we are looking at. So there are a lot of things which were not available before online. It was hard, and now since online documentation has come, online help is available. A lot of things now are looking easier to access, easier to get, to understand, and to use. That's what's happening. you know. So the importance of online documentation is something I will say paramount for the success of whatever system or website or whatever users are using. It can provide users extremely easy to understand information if they require. Yeah. So not everybody needs online help, but there will be people. There are people who will come and say, "Oh, I need to access this. I haven't understood something. All right, let's try online help." So online documentation in that regard is an important element here. Well, guys, we're talking about here something important here, online help. So there's something here which is showing this figure provides a step-by-step approach to the activities in a database migration application. It could be anything, So it's just one example, The details involved in each step can be found on the left side. As you can see here, this is where the details can be seen. The actual action and activity is in the middle. You can see here, this is the clearly written information here. As I said to you, information should be shown clearly. That is very, very important here. On the bottom is a roadmap for the steps involved. The steps are marked as to their status, completed, in progress, not started, which is good, So it shows you how things are going, whether something has been completed, which is started and now it's completed. Something is still started, but it still has not yet completed. It might show is in progress, or something which is supposed to be started uh, or will be started sometime has not yet started, So these are easy to show activities which play, as I said to you, this makes things much easier, I mean, even for novices which are inexperienced user, it would be easy to insert links to more detailed tutorial type of information. So guys, there are a lot of things which we are seeing here and can be useful too, Anyway, let's keep moving here. Okay, now some more information about guys online help. This is an important topic. I want everybody to understand that this is the importance of this, and this is very significant information. Once again, we are using Microsoft Word document. We all have used that, and these days, if you move the cursor, like the mouse, over a particular icon, it will show you something is written there, like it's showing in this picture, So that is important, guys, So I'm talking about things which we need to understand, and you guys have to understand the importance. And not only that, the design process is an important one as well. Let's move on to some, understand some more, examples here. But look, I mean, like I have been, paying attention to this, and I want to emphasize that when you are designing something similar to an online help, you take everything into consideration. Don't leave anything, like I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to use that. Everything will provide you good creative ideas. Those ideas which you can bring here, and you can, like, say for example this one. Okay, now on the back of this, in the background, what we are seeing is kind of a something complicated music interface. Which I don't think so I can understand. Yeah, I doubt you will be either. I'm not sure. Some might understand, so I'm not doubting your ability to understand this document, but well, I don't understand. It looks like a kind of some music interface, and it shows here different, like hell balloons, which are open here. Several standard icons are used, such as new, import, record, play. But other specific icons explain the various models that are available using the tool. So as you can see here, the whenever if this is like an online help, if somebody is using a system, so important thing is that the designer needs to make sure that he or she understands it easily, and not only easily but correctly as well. So that is very important. Well, guys, sorry about my tea. Yeah, I just needed one. Well, anyway, let's keep moving here. Okay, now once again, we got few more videos which I intend to play during the tutorial class, so which will be very important to see how this is about the importance of glass, how the glass technology is going to shape up in the future. So please stay with me, and I will advise everybody to watch that. That it will be. I think it is showing the future of maybe 20 years from now. Yeah, something like that. Maybe 25 years. Yeah, but something is very interesting. So please don't miss those videos. I will be running them in the tutorial class here. Okay, now let's move. Okay, this is important, guys. As I said to you, times have changed now. Reading from papers versus from displays. I used to buy a newspaper, like a physical newspaper, 20 years ago. Which I did. But now I don't remember when I bought the physical newspaper. It's that's true, guys. I'm not joking. So this is now you decide what you wanna read, which is easier for you. If you look at here, we're talking about visual fatigue and stress from reading computer displays is a common problem. Some people, you might find people who were born in the 50s and 40s. If they are doing this, they probably will still say, "Oh, I'm happy with my old style newspaper." You know. So, but people who were born in the year 2000, probably they will not say that. So it's like a 50 years generation gap, and things have changed and changed drastically. Is a big change here we are seeing now. Paper is being phased out. Paper based things like magazines, many magazines which used to publish every week, every month, whatever, they now all have gone into into like online only. That's it. So as I said, but like look, say if you are reading something and not taking proper rest for hours. If you're reading something for hours, of course you're gonna get like your eyes will get tired. Of course, it's gonna happen. That might give you a back problem and other problems here if you are sitting on a not a very comfortable chair. So seating is important. If the furniture is ergonomically designed, that can provide some relief, but not to a large extent. And you'll find many things are here, guys. Even if users are not aware of visual fatigue or stress, their capacity to work with displays may be below their capacity to work with paper documentation. Sometimes it's easy if you have got a paper in your hand. So I'm not saying here that the paper technology is great. I'm seeing here, depending on the culture of the office, where you operate, where you work, a lot of factors are there. So it's jury's out, guys. You have to think about yourself, whether which display, but it's still, I remember when I was a student around 2000, just before that, there was something in that time that the next century will be paperless. Paperless means the offices will be paperless. But guys, that didn't happen. Trust me, never happened. Did not happen at all. It was difficult. Yeah. I mean, still we have papers, guys, and I think we still will have for the next, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years. So paper, I don't know for how long they're going to be with us, but a lot of organizations, they prefer papers. They like to have hard copy records. Sometimes they just don't feel comfortable, accessing your record or something, via computers, or, internet might be down. So it's not really what you want to say, what you want to do. It depends. What it is. You know, we are talking about something important here, and it depends who wants to use it. So it's kind of a personal choice, and of course, with time, I think paper will be completely phased out. This is what's going to happen. Reading from paper versus display concluded here. Designers should be aware how poor information design can make reading more difficult and disrupt the process. This is important as well. So if you are providing an online, or like say, like on a like a small screen of a computer or a mobile phone or something, then again, design principles have to be followed. Yeah, that's important. So it's important thing is that if there's some guidelines here for supporting, you know, reading. So don't use uncommon or unfamiliar vocabulary. So make sure that your vocabulary you're using is easy to understand, is informal one, not very formal. You know, so don't use some very difficult English words, which people, even people of native English, might find difficult to understand. So make sure everything is done, written in a very easy to understand way. This is true. avoid difficult to read typefaces, or caps is not, is not allowed, I will say, unless you are writing a warning, but don't use, capital letters. I will say it's not a good idea, you know. So because sometimes all caps are not easy to read. Yeah, well, for sure. So font, the selection of font is also important. Simple font, maybe Arial, Calibri, something. Don't use some fancy type of font which people might find difficult to read, So you are not in a, you know, calligraphy competition here, Yeah, that's for sure. Keep things simple. As I said to you, simple things are easy, As you remember last information, like in the last assignment, I was explaining to you, when they are building website, simplicity is paid extreme attention. Yeah, huge attention is given to simplicity. Keep things simple, not difficult for anybody, That's for sure, guys, So our advice, you guys should think about it as well, you know. So avoid text on busy backgrounds, of course, like if you write a text on a background which is quite like cluttered, or which is something difficult, maybe light background, and you can't write something light again, or maybe if it's a dark background, you can't write something dark, so be very careful about it. So this is how I will, so yeah, I mean, let's see how it goes, so well, we are trying to do our best, as much as we can. I know, as you guys will all have difficult, like like not difficult. I mean, like a different kind of mindset, different creativity will emerge from within you. That's what's going to happen. You know. So anyway, online help and manuals are important. We have got here NIH Senior Health website, This National Institute for Health site for seniors. Of course, they are seniors, So what do you expect here? You should expect here that they should be able to adjust the text size to make it larger, because these people might not have the good eyesight as somebody who's as young as 20 years old, So they should be able to have eyesight that can be important, So the font used in a same, sensory font easy, and the font size is larger than the typical size used on the web. Several ways are provided to navigate through the information, alphabetical grouping by category. So we make things easier and easy to understand for people who might not be very, very good in the use of computers. They might not be well versed. That's the thing, guys. Not everyone has a computer proficiency. Yeah. So people who are in their 80s, if you give them computer, I can tell you they're going to struggle. Yeah, for sure. Somebody who's in their 40, you give them computers, you will find them that person is using computer with ease, with comfort, without too much hassle. So guys, this is the difference, So make sure that you understand, what is going on. Who are your audience? That is important, I have said to you before that, even last time, the last assignment, I was talking about that, If you are doing a presentation, know your audience. If you are developing a website, know your audience. If your website is for people who are in their 20s and 30s, then it will be a different website. If you have a website for people who are in their 60s and 70s and 80s, 90, even 80s, I'm telling you, even a lot of people in the 80s now, they are having a good lifestyle. People's life has been extended thanks to medical science, So people who are in their 80s, they are using mobile phones comfortably, and and they are yeah. So they are really making a good thing, So let's see what happens. Anyway, guys, okay, we're gonna make sure how highlighting fonts, etc. help the user. This is important too. Which how do you highlight your website? How do you show them something which is easy? This is a specialized interface called tag comments. It's important. The comment sections can be found in the lower right corner. Comments can be read and briefly scanned by looking at the included icons. Yeah, in the upper right corner, they can use, and they can filter the comments by category. So these are things are really, really powerful. And they make difference. They, at the end of the day, the purpose is to provide users a good experience. easy experience. They don't want any drama here, guys. No, All right, guys. Again, another video, interesting one. I can tell you right now, and we will run in the tutorial class. And yeah, this has been a good class here. Okay, last topic, guys. Here, development process guidelines, very important. Seek professional content writers and copywriters. See, these are the experts. You will need them to design your documents, comments. Very, very important. Prepare user documentation early, even before implementation. Set up guidelines, documents, and coordinate and integrate across all those who are involved in all departments. Review drafts thoroughly, repeatedly. Field test early editions, provide feedback mechanism for readers. Revise to reflect changes regularly. So it's not a one-off incident. It's a constantly changing, thing. These things are constantly evolving. Yeah. And you have to evolve yourself as well. You can't live in the past, you know. So things have to be done according to the books. Yes, yeah, sorry about that. I just needed one cup of tea. Anyway, guys, this is important. Guideline process plays a very, very important role. So experts can come up with ideas, the style of writing, the display, the selection of words. A lot of things are here, which only experts can do efficiently. That's all you need. As I said to you before, you don't want your visitors on your website confused. Yeah, this is the last thing you want. You want to see everything is happening smoothly. All you want your visitors to revisit your website. Any website which is not visited by the first time user, it means there is something fundamentally wrong in that website, and the developers must do something, must fix up those issues which are keeping your visitors away from your website. Yeah, yes, this is important. Feedback plays very important role. I'm a great fan of feedback, because users feedback can make a big difference. So please, guys, pay attention to that as well. We are almost there, and this is the summary, and we will discuss topics, which topic you like most, which topic you like least, and I will see you in the tutorial class. So guys, this has been a good and entertaining week 11 class, and hopefully that you guys will have liked all these things here. So anyway, so guys, okay, it's time for me to say goodbye, and I will see you in the tutorial class here. Okay.